Beloved Madridistas, welcome back to Madrid. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the coolest Real Madrid community in the world. Okay, let's talk about tonight's match. This is the biggest match of the year. It really feels like our whole season depends on this match. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the lineup and the six takeaways, the six sort of key issues that we need to focus on in order to win this match. By the way, you guys may have heard that Kylian didn't train yesterday. There's a bit of a question mark around whether or not he can play. They're going to be doing last-minute tests tonight just before the match to see if he's match fit. I think he'll play. That's just my personal opinion. But let's talk about all this. Again, this is absolutely the most important match of the year so far. And before we get started, I just want to say sorry. I wasn't able to do a post-match analysis of the Rayo match. I had the thumbnail ready, which I think is very apropos. I had even recorded the anthem for you guys. The anthem is something that I love to share with you because it's one of the coolest moments when you go to the stadium. It gives me goosebumps every time. So I had everything ready, but didn't get around to it. I had guests from out of town, and I couldn't find the time. But forget all of that. Tonight's match is absolutely mission critical. So let me give you my thoughts on lineup and some of the keys ahead of tonight's match. Thanks for joining me. As always, let's get started. Hey, beloved Madridistas, welcome back. Okay, let's talk about this incredible match tonight. This has been a very unpredictable year. I find, more than other years, it's really, really hard to kind of see where things go because our performances have been so erratic and so disparate. I mean, we've done some really amazing things this season, but we've also done some terrible things, and we've had some horrible matches. The second half of the Rayo match the other day was just dismal. It was one of the worst 45 minutes I've seen in a long time. So there's an element of unpredictability in terms of our play, and it makes it particularly difficult to predict what's going to happen. Now we'll start with the lineup, and of course we have the question mark regarding Kylian, but I'm assuming he's going to play, okay? Because players often play with some, sometimes they have a little bit of pain here and there, even if it's not a serious injury, and they force themselves to play. This is one of those situations where I really have a hard time seeing Kylian on the bench. This is an incredibly important match. Even if he feels a little bit of pain here or there, this is a match where if you have to take risks, you do, because the entire season is on the line. And what would you be saving him up for? I mean, tell me what match in the next 2-3 weeks is more important than this one. I think he will play. So my lineup prediction is sort of based around that. I think we're going to see Courtois in goal. We'll see Mendy as left back. We know that in the sort of big, difficult matches, he always leans towards Mendy. Rudiger and Asensio will be center backs. Rudiger's been a little bit kind of soft the last couple of matches, but I think he's had a few days to rest, and I think, hopefully we'll see the best Rudiger and Asensio in the middle. Fede will play right back. This is a position he's done incredibly well when called upon to play this position. He had played right back previously in his career. He's familiar with the position, but he really has surprised us. He's just been excellent. So I think we'll put Fede in right back. I think Lucas Vázquez would be far too risky to play in this match. In the center of the pitch, okay, Tchouaméni and Jude will play for sure. The question mark is the third midfielder, and the question mark is, will it be Camavinga, Brahim, or even Luka Modric? Now, my personal opinion, I think that if Carlo really wants to emphasize the defensive aspect in this match, he'll start with Camavinga. If he's looking more for possession and control, he'll play Brahim. I'm not entirely, Luka Modric obviously is wonderful for possession football, I just don't know if he can last 90 minutes in a match as physical as this one, but it is a possibility. So I think the only question mark in my mind really is around that third midfielder, depending on what Ancelotti wants to do. If he wants to prioritize ball possession or defensive strength, that will kind of condition who he goes for. But I think it'll be, either Camavinga, Brahim, or Luka Modric. And then, of course, up front we have, the fabulous three: Rodrigo on the right, Vini on the left, and Kylian in the middle. Now, in terms of what I think that the keys to this match will be, number one is to stop or slow Atletico in transition. Now, Atletico de Madrid is a team that is much more dangerous without the ball than with the ball. The times that Atletico de Madrid is most dangerous is when they're sitting back and sort of poking, and when they steal the ball, they do counter very, very well, and they're very well organized when they do it. They play very well collectively. They all counter together. They all defend together. It's going to be very, very important for us to stop that transition. So when we're in possession, if we lose the ball, we have to be very quick to backtrack because Atletico de Madrid is a very well-oiled machine in terms of how they play. They have a kind of very well-defined style that they've been rehearsing for over a decade now, and they're very dangerous in the transition. So that's one of the keys, I think. Number two, we need to be very careful with set pieces and aerial balls. Atletico de Madrid loves these. They love corner kicks. They love set pieces where you put bodies in the box and lob the ball in. This is something Atletico de Madrid loves to do. They're very effective doing it. Players like Sorloth are fantastic in the air. Julian Alvarez is absolutely lethal these days. But it's very important for us to prevent crosses. I think our right back and left back have to be very focused to stay in front and defend and be in front of the Atletico de Madrid forwards and avoid those crosses into the box because, like I say, in set pieces and aerial play, Atletico de Madrid is very, very dangerous. Number three, Real Madrid is notoriously uncomfortable when you press us high. Now, we have a lot of skill and we know how to play the ball out of the back, but I don't think we should be risking it. If there are any, we can combine trying to play the ball out of the back and mix that up with long passes. I think that's very effective because it makes you less predictable. But I think it's very important that in situations where we are under pressure as we're trying to take the ball out, we need to go long. Just go long. There's no point taking risks. I think Courtois and the center backs need to know that if you're under too much pressure, do not risk the ball in that back third under any circumstance. So if you need to go long, but we need to be very careful not to lose balls if Atleti is pressing us high. Number four, we need to get to the wings quickly and we need to use our speed. Now, the way to do this is to make the pitch as wide as possible. So Vini needs to be sort of stuck to the byline on the left. Rodrigo needs to be stuck to the byline on the right. And we need to create as much space as possible and use our speed. So when we recover the ball, we need to get to the ball to the wings as quickly as possible and take advantage of the speed that we have on the wings. Atletico de Madrid plays with sort of three center backs. It's kind of a funky defensive formation, but they sometimes concentrate in the middle. I think if we can find space on the wings, that is definitely our strength. So we need to be very quick when we recover the ball, get the ball to the wings, make sure that we're playing the pitch as wide as possible. I think that'll be an important factor. Number five, this is really, really important. Don't let them score first. Atletico de Madrid is a team that knows how to defend when they want to. They're very well organized defensively. If they score first, they're going to make the night really, really difficult for us because Atletico de Madrid is a very difficult team. When they are in a block defensively, they're very hard to get through. And we've seen this the other times we've played them this year. They are very hard to break through once they settle into defense. So make sure that they don't score first. The first 20 minutes are going to be absolutely key. The intensity level that you're going to see from Atletico de Madrid in the first 20 minutes is going to be brutal. It's exactly to be expected. This is a very difficult stadium that puts an enormous amount of pressure on the players. We need to make sure that they don't score in those first 20 minutes when Atletico de Madrid is going to be playing 100%. They're going to be pressing every single ball. We need to absorb the pressure in those first 20 minutes keep possession when we have the ball, try to take the sting out of the match, try to take the crowd out of the match, try to decompress the match through possession, lengthy possessions, and make sure that they don't score first, especially in those first 20 minutes that I think are very, very critical. Now, on the other hand, if we score first, the match really plays into our hands, because if we score first, Atleti will find themselves 2 goals behind and they will have no choice but to really push forward. And that is exactly when Real Madrid is most dangerous. If Atleti is pushing forward and we steal a ball, that is exactly when we can do damage. We have the speed, on the counter we're lethal, and that would be the ideal scenario, is that we score first, then sit back and catch them on the counter. But it's very, very important that we make sure they do not score first. Okay, number 6, and this is something that Ancelotti talked about in a recent interview. Everybody needs to run, okay? Now, you guys know that in football, pressing is only effective if everybody does it. If only, and this is what Ancelotti said in an interview, he said, if only 8 players are running, we're not going to win. We need every single player to run. And that was obviously a message to the forwards. And we need Rodrigo, Vinny, and Kylian to do a lot of backtracking. They need to chase a lot of balls in the midfield and help try to disrupt Atletico's build-up play the moment that they retrieve the ball. So the second Atleti recovers the ball, wherever that is on the pitch, especially if it's very high up, we need our forwards to put pressure on the ball, to slow down Atletico de Madrid's transition play, which I mentioned is really, really dangerous. So everybody needs to run, and I think this is the kind of match where you just don't save any energy. You have to play at maximum capacity the whole match. So I think it'll be very important that everybody runs and that we press as a collective in a synchronized manner. It's the only way that the press is effective. So in terms of, basically the message is, I think this is a very difficult stadium, especially in the last couple of years, we've really struggled at the Metropolitano. It's about time that we win one of these. We lost twice there last year. It's just a very difficult stadium, but we need to break this curse. I think we can win this match. I really do think that when we play in Europe, things are different. I honestly, the feel that you get in Champions League matches is just different. I think the stakes are higher. Real Madrid is almost a different team when we play in European competition. We have a special edge, a special level of experience. And I really think that we can pull this off. And another very important factor, and I have to mention this, we don't have to worry about the refs, which when we play Atleti in La Liga, it's a really big deal. And I know this might sound petty or ridiculous. It's not. It makes such a material difference if you know that the refs are basically neutral and you only have to worry about the opponent. I think that playing Atletico Madrid in Europe feels different in many different ways, and I think it plays to our advantage. So I think we can pull this off. If we make it to the next leg, we'll run into Arsenal. The second leg will be at the Bernabeu, which would be absolutely amazing. And I think it does give us a big advantage, because the second leg in the Bernabeu, you all know what Real Madrid is capable of at home in European competition. So I think, we can get past this, and I think we can meet Arsenal, and I think we can get past them as well. But anyway, this is going to be a very, very, very tough match. Those are my thoughts in terms of tonight. Very, very stressful. The tension level in the city is incredibly high. Security for this match is off the charts. Because Atletico supporters are, sort of fairly famous for being a bit rowdy, and the level of vitriol against Real Madrid is absolutely incredible. So Real Madrid actually sent out an email to all the members saying that if you go to the Metropolitano tonight, please be careful. They're even telling Real Madridistas tonight to, when you're in the outskirts of the stadium, don't even wear a Real Madrid kit or anything. They're very worried about security for this match. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I think we can pull it off. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. It's going to be pretty intense. But thank you for joining me, and I'll definitely be back tomorrow to give you my thoughts in the post-match analysis. But thanks a lot, guys. Let's hope our boys can pull it off tonight. So as always, and forever, a la Madrid.